All right, so the Army Chief also visited the frontline areas in Jammu and Kashmir. General Upendra Dwivedi visited forward locations of Dagger Division and also commended the troops for their valour and bravery during Operation Sindoor. Well, the Army Chief also addressed the troops and said that he was super proud of the actions of the armed forces here, the personnel whom he met and their services during Operation Sindoor.
The fact that India and Pakistan have reached a tentative ceasefire understanding by no means indicates that India is down from its war alert. These pictures of General Dwivedi, the Chief of the Army Staff, spending time with forward deployed troops in the Uri and Kupwara sectors sends out exactly the kind of message that you've just described, that India remains operationally ready to respond at very short notice. Remember, the troops you see on your screen are literally, the frontline teeth of the Indian Armed Forces, who've not only faced shelling and ceasefire violations for over 3 weeks now since the Pahalgam attack, but have been giving it back in more than equal measure, destroying launch pads, destroying Pakistan Army posts, and basically imposing India's writ in the post-Operation Sindoor scenario. I should point out that the two Director Generals of Military Operations who had spoken on their hotline a couple of days ago had agreed to initiate measures to try and reduce the number of troops that are forward deployed in this warlike scenario. There may be, I understand, some small, de-escalation in terms of, troop pullbacks or reduction in forward deployed numbers as a optical confidence building measure. But given the kind of irresponsible and volatile country that Pakistan is, and given that it has just had 12 of its air bases bombed by precision Indian Air Force strikes, that readiness is not going to come down at all. And I think General Dwivedi visiting these forward troops along the line of control radiates precisely that kind of a message, saying the army backs you, the political leadership back you, the Indian people back our armed forces. Usually India's defense forces are faceless. These are men and women in those frontline areas, very, very far away from their families, doing an incredibly dangerous and brave work. And by being visited today by the Army Chief, the message going out not just to the forces but to their families as well is that the country has their backs and will give them everything that they need, to execute India's very, very vastly different rules of engagement as far as Pakistan is concerned. India is on the front foot now. We've always had a defensive posture in the past because we are not a hostile nation with any, military objectives in other countries. That has completely changed. These pictures tell that story.